All right. Here we are for is this special episode number 1 or is this special episode number 2? I've lost track somehow.
I think it's number two.
I think it's number 2 as well. I think we did a special Imperial Entanglements episode.
Yes, we did. Yes. So
It
this would
was
be number two.
yes. I obviously get very confused by the special episodes.
Well, you get confused during the season as well because you thought our season finale was episode 20, and I think it was 19. So,
I'm just gonna start just going making up numbers. We'll uh, we'll have
I mean,
episode 72 next.
I don't think that would be the first time, but okay.
Hey, at least I know what holidays are which.
Hey now,
Oh,
touche.
so it's been a couple weeks. I hear a jump to Lightspeed pack came out.
It did.
Last time we cast, we were covering what had been spoiled out of that pack.
Yeah, I don't remember what the last thing spoiled from it was.
I'm having a hard time remembering myself. Can everybody out there see the stream okay?
It's just the normal
It is? Okay.
background to me, at least.
All right.
Nothing on the screen yet.
Awesome. Just want to make sure everybody was good to go here. All right. Yeah, so we have the pack in its entirety, which also ends up being the end of the cycle itself.
Yeah.
We also, in case anybody out there missed it, TGO had an article discussing his 5 favorite dark side objective sets from the entire cycle. That's
No,
up on
no.
foot today.
They are the best 5 objectives from the whole cycle. No discussion. No discussion. It's fact. Yes. Yes.
Oh boy. Yeah. So, what were your thoughts overall on Jump to Lightspeed?
It's a pretty good pack. All 5 of the sets in it or not were, but seem really good.
It's got my favorite Rebel set, personally. I really really like the Rebel set that's in there. It's very combo-y, but when it combos, it's cool.
Yeah.
The Jedi set is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
When the Sith set fires, it's pretty ridiculous. And then there was your number 1 pick. Spoiler. Your number 1 pick was Guri.
Yeah.
So I'd say overall. Oh, and then how can we forget the new Falcon?
Yes. The new Falcon and Han.
Yeah, it's
I think we said before that like pack 4 was really stacked. I think this one is just as stacked.
I mean, I'm gonna say something kind of dumb here, but last year Echoes gave us the Double Kyle, which was a groundbreaking set in that regard, where it had 2 copies of the same main.
Yeah.
And is that Bucket of Bolts? Is that the first time we've had like a double like heavy hitting main?
Well, unless you consider like the Hunter's Flight with Slave One and Boba, or like because in Pack 4 we got the Luke and Red, was it Red 5?
Well, no, I know about that, but like Red 5 and Vader's tie just don't stand out enough to me. Like neither of those are Falcon,
Yeah, yeah.
Slave One's close. I forgot. Like I focus so much on Fett, I've forgotten about Slave One really even being in there.
Yeah, this is probably the first set with with a double main. But can you consider Han a main though?
He's got the same stats, right, as Korhan.
Yeah.
But
in a pinch,
he
he's a
just
good
doesn't
unit.
shoot first.
Han always shoots first.
It's all around. I think Rogue Squadron cycle finished much stronger than it started.
Agreed. Agreed. and as I outlined in my article, I didn't start out loving the pilots, but as it's gone on and now that it's ended, I love the pilots. I know you're not a big fan of them, but I've been converted.
Yeah, I still don't think combo works awesome in this game. I get that it's a thing, but I prefer a good old blaster, I guess. Like, just give me a solid unit and let me mess up the board. That's
Yeah, I mean that's good too.
yeah.
But there's other things you can do with the game. You just don't have to. You just don't have to play Vader all the time, I guess.
So now that Jump to Lightspeed gave us the 6 pack, which would you say was the best pack
Ooh,
from
that's
Rogue
tough.
Squadron?
Because I think the Guri set is the best set in the whole cycle. So like I want to say pack six, but then you've got the fourth pack, which had it had what's his name? Keon Farlander,
Yeah.
had Boba, and it had Darth Vader. So to try
I
to
think it's
pick
definitely a
one,
toss up, right?
it's
Between 4 and
close.
6.
I don't think you can go wrong picking either one. I'd probably say four because I think those three sets are probably better than, as a whole, I would say, are better than, the best three or whatever you want to say, than Pack Six. I mean, although I think Guri is obviously the best set, I just think the other ones are, it's a little deeper.
Yeah. Yeah, I think no matter what, if you've been on the fence about buying anything from the cycle itself, pack 4 and pack 6 are probably instant purchases.
Which one was Attack Run? Somebody said Attack Run is the best pack. Was that the first?
I think he was talking about running the trench. No, attack. Oh yeah, attack run was the. It was the first pack, I think.
I
Or
never
the
know the
pack is
packs
for
by
it. Yeah,
name.
okay. I really don't either. It's really, really not good for me not to know that.
I never know them by name. I just, it's just pack one, two, three. I don't remember the name.
Yeah, if you were to quiz me on like Echo Cycle, I couldn't tell you. Like,
Yeah,
I just know the one with Yoda in it was really good.
yeah,
I'm really good with the numbers of the objective sets, but the names of the packs not so much.
yeah. If there was a quiz on that, I'd fail horribly.
Well, there was some other big news that came out this week. This week, not this week. Since our last, got so used to the weekly cast.
Yeah,
It did happen to come out this week, but that was not how I meant it. We got some worlds information.
and it's September.
Yes, 6 weeks in advance.
Is it 6 weeks?
Yep.
Wow, it's that close, huh? I thought it was.
And
I thought we had more time.
mad props and respect to FFG for like we've always, especially with nationals, like very critical of lack of information. This was perfect. Well, this was like 95% perfect. We'll come back to the problem, but
I am curious to
like
know what the problem is, but okay.
we talked about it. We talked about it. You know.
Oh man, now I'm forgetting. I'm drawing
Well,
a
you
blank.
you you did have a toddler in your hands, and you were a little preoccupied.
That is
Yeah,
possible.
yeah. I shouldn't say like you had your daughter. Like that could sound weird or creepy or something.
What is TGO doing to that toddler?
So
Sounds like he muted us.
all right. No, I just had a phone call I wasn't expecting.
I heard that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was. I just really think like for as critical as things. Dave said sorry. As critical as things got for nationals, I think it should be like the polar opposite of that for this announcement. Like they did this on time. They were ahead of it, and it does make you think that like maybe what happened with nationals was something completely out of their hands because of how on top they were for this. We'll see what next year's prize announcements look like, but going forward, they set the bar really high here. 6 weeks in advance is fantastic. So
Yeah, I'm just happy that they announced it
yeah,
because last year we were like, what are they doing? What are they doing? And they even, told us that it would be a quote unquote surprise. But now this year, they're free flowing the information pretty early, and the assortment of prizes is pretty good, I think.
yeah. Let's discuss in case not everybody had a chance to take a look just yet, because it's I think it's tremendous. Like I'm very excited by the announcement.
I am very motivated to win that world championship, Matt, just because I think it is so sweet.
Did
Assuming
they?
it's the one in the background and not, the Vader one.
This is gonna sound so weird, but did they take down the announcement? Like maybe I just and now their website's offline. Great, great.
No, I definitely found the announcement. They moved it. It's under their OP stuff. But
Yeah, the site went down for me.
well, it didn't go down for me. I got it up now.
Very nice. I like how they titled the article "Compete for Glory and Riches." It's an interesting perspective when their communication CEO said that they don't want it to be a glory and riches kind of situation. They don't want it to feel like a job. Interesting terminology, right?
Yeah,
I love it. I'm so stoked. Don't get me wrong. I'm so stoked. I find the title funny. But
I mean that's the main OP title, but the Star Wars one is Harness the Force. So
yeah, let's harness it. So let's
wish
go
I
over it. So
could.
the completion prize, everybody can see there in the middle. It is the alternate art Sith Vader image there between the playmats.
Interesting choice.
You get one in your deck box just for attending, and then you'll get two more as long as you play all the rounds.
Yes.
So you can actually play with one during the day. I believe. I believe you should get the deck box when you go to pick up your badge stuff.
Yeah, it's all on the swag bag that you get I would
Yeah.
imagine when you pick up your badge.
Yeah. So if you're playing Sith Vader for the day, you're gonna have one, which is pretty cool, I think. Then we're gonna skip that next one. We'll come back to that. So top 16, get that sexy Boba Fett playmat.
Wait, did you say top 16?
I did say top 16.
Okay,
It's,
just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to make sure.
right, right. No,
I'm
I
not
mean,
bitter or anything.
they did say at the bottom that final prizes may appear slightly different. Hopefully that doesn't mean, less playmats. I like the playmat. I don't know about you.
Oh, I think the Boba playmat is phenomenal.
Now, last year it was BTS Yoda art. This year it's BTS Boba art. I thought that was pretty cool.
Agreed.
I thought that was pretty
I,
cool.
I want to know where that Darth Vader art is from.
But we're not there yet.
But I'm so excited. Jumping ahead.
The top four backpack prizes are gone. We now have an art print. It is by the artist Jacob Murray. That art has been everywhere.
I mean, it's a beautiful playmat. I'm sure it'll make a beautiful art print. I want to make top four so I can frame it and hang it on my wall.
Just to come back to that real quick though, Skate Pharmacy pointed out that is from the Balance of the Force box art. That Vader.
Really?
Yep. I
have
think
never-
he's totally right. It's been a while since I've looked at it.
Yeah.
But that does look like it.
Yeah, that answers that question.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a bummer. I was hoping maybe something. Maybe it was a nod to something else. But oh well. Man, that's now has me a little sad. It's still a gorgeous playmat.
Yeah.
So this art by Jacob Murray, number one, as David pointed out to me earlier in the week, that art is everywhere now. Like that, we've had it on the big deck box, we've had it on a small deck box, we've had it on a playmat. I mean, it's just been everywhere, and now we've got on print, which I think is cool. You said if you won one, you would frame it.
Yes, I think it's really good art.
I love it. No, I think this is very. It's not as like functional as a backpack, but I don't think. I just don't think anybody needed backpacks. So,
My only concern is trying to get that thing home without it being damaged.
I'm hoping it's rolled. Like I'm hoping it's in a tube rolled, and that's how they give it to you, so you can transport
Well,
it.
does it say how big it is?
No, it doesn't. But it looks a little bit wider than the playmat, but not as long.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that picture is. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm just wondering if it is the same size or similar size as a playmat, or if it's like a smaller art, that's almost the size of a piece of paper, but maybe a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, the bigger it is, the better, in my opinion.
Oh,
So,
for sure. I
I,
I think it's cool that they've gone signed art. Um,
agreed. I think that adds a little, not value, but it just makes it more special. You know,
yeah.
I think it's really cool.
Skate Pharmacy suggested that if you bring a playmat tube, if you win one of these art pieces, you could bring it back in that.
Yeah.
Which be pretty smart too. The winner, as TJO has talked about ad nauseum at this point, receives that Vader playmat and the trophy.
I just
And
think
gets
that
his on the
Vader
card.
playmat is just amazing. It's just
It looks really cool. It really does. So let's go back because there's a couple things in there that I guess we skipped over. There is a top 8 prize,
yeah. I was just gonna say we missed that top 8 part.
and it's announced as a set of acrylic force dedication cards. I'm really confused on this one. Like the image that we believe is that blue thing
Yes.
that has, it looks like a dual icon.
Yeah, it's got like half Jedi, half Sith.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, are you supposed to put your card on top of that? Is it supposed to really go underneath and kind of stick out? Like, I'm not sure. I want to see it in person. I have faith that it's much cooler than what's going on here, but I really would like to see more about that.
I think it's really weird that they have half of the Sith and half of the Jedi logo on it, instead of it being one side one thing, the other side another thing.
Well, I'm guessing because they just want to give you 3, since you only ever need 3 and play it once.
I mean, I
You
get
can't.
that you need 3, but I mean, why couldn't it have been? I don't know. It's nitpicking, and I don't want to go there.
All right. Well, let's look at these. They're calling it a best of faction, and they're saying each faction's best player receives a faction-themed acrylic faction card.
I think this is a very interesting thing that they're trying to do.
Yeah. So let's if you can see the guys in the image there, there's 6 acrylic. I think they're acrylic images there that are. It's just looks like the affiliation cards, but without all the like snazzy stuff going on in the background of them. I'm conflicted on a few of them. Like, it's weird to me. Maybe you just need to see them in person. But like the navy one doesn't really look blue.
Yeah, it looks
And
kind of gray, a clearish
yeah,
gray.
yeah, and well, the gray I understand, but like if that's the case, if it is gray, like why isn't the symbol blue? Like why is the symbol white? But maybe that's an acrylic thing. Maybe it just doesn't work very well. I don't know much about that.
Maybe it pops on depending on your playmat or something.
And then the smuggler one looks a little off to me too. And then I'm not a giant fan of the scum symbol being white with the green background. But I think it's a great prize. I think it's a great idea. I'm just being nitpicky a little bit of the colors is all.
Yeah. I really want to see these before I think they're a cool idea.
Yeah, yeah,
They look neat. But picture doesn't tell you everything,
right,
you know? And it's not like it's a zoomed in high quality image that we've got. We've just got, a very uh, small picture that doesn't really show us much.
right, right.
So, I mean, to me, I like the spot glosses, and this is going to need to be really cool to replace the spot glosses.
David just pointed out that these do have the resource icon on them, which was a criticism that they were missing from the spot gloss from this regionals.
Is that what that thing is down in the corner?
Yeah, I think David's right.
It's probably is. I'm fine with the resource symbol being on there.
I like it there. No, I like it there.
I would
So
have been fine with or without it. It doesn't really matter.
so I called you pretty much immediately. You text me to say that the announcement of them had been posted, and then I called you pretty much immediately to discuss. And I had like I think I came at you with like 30 different questions
Oh
about how
yeah.
in the world that was going to work. And so I sent what I thought were kind of the four most important questions to organize play, which is what factors determine the quote best player? When is this determined? Is it before, like at the end of Swiss rounds, or is it at the end of the top 16? Can the same player win twice? Like can you win for both light and dark side? And then how exactly is the faction determined? Affiliation, number of objectives, etc., etc. And the response I was given was additional details will be announced in the coming weeks.
AKA, it's a surprise.
I don't say this to throw anybody under the bus, but I will say that that was not the only email discussion I had about it. My first question, the response that I received back was essentially that the information was already in the article. And then that's what prompted the additional questions. So my guess is they don't exactly know just yet, but hopefully we'll know soon.
I mean, with all of their other games, maybe not all their other games, but with
It's
the
pretty
other games,
straightforward.
it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
In Conquest, your warlord is basically your identity. That's who your main faction is.
sure.
In Star Wars, your faction is not necessarily your main; it's your splash. So it's like, okay, you've got two scum objectives in your deck, but the rest are, Sith. You're really a Sith deck. You're not a scum deck. So the judging by the affiliation seems weird. And then trying to make, them trying to make a determination based off of your deck list seems kind of tedious. Because now they got to go through all these. I guess they don't have to go through all of them, but they'd have to go through quite a few of them to judge who quote unquote did the best. And is it like a win loss record best, or is it where you finished in the tournament best? It's just really there's a lot of things up in the air right now.
Yeah, I think back to I think at nationals last year I was on and you were on too, a 6-4 split the wrong direction.
Yeah, the wrong way. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think at Worlds last year, I think Zach Bunn was on a 5-5 split.
So if you're on a 5-5 split and you place pretty high, do you get to choose what faction you are?
Yeah.
I mean, really, this is kind of an awkward thing for Star Wars.
I think it's going to come down to which affiliation you start. I really do.
Probably.
I mean, it is possible that you could run a bunch of neutral sets, and there's no neutral affiliation card. So, and really, they're rewarding you a replacement for your affiliation. So, I think it'll come down to that. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
I think even somebody on Card Game pointed out that sometimes if they're running like a mono list, that has no requirements for the affiliation, that they'll just run the wrong affiliation to like throw off the opponent on what they might or might not have.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. And you pointed out too that these things most likely are going to be the only way you can get them. So they're going to be very elusive, very exclusive.
I'm,
And
I am more curious to know if a player can only win one or if they can win multiples. Because
sure.
and also the timing of it too. Because if it's at the end of Swiss and a person can win multiples, obviously the first place person wins two of these.
Well, yeah, this is something you and I discussed partly was that like, I could end 6-2 with my dark side, but you could end 8-0 but have a worse record because your light side could perform worse than my light side. So
Yeah.
does that take you out of the running of best affiliation for what if we're both starting the same affiliation? Like I personally think it should be the end of Swiss.
Agreed.
I don't think it should look at the top cut at all.
But at the same time, if it is end of Swiss, regardless, or the end of the top 16, it's probably going the same 16 people are going to have the same shot at it,
Yeah.
more or less.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll also have to go by strength of schedule for ties, I would have to imagine.
Yeah, it ties. Yeah, I hope they don't have to. Well, ties. Ugh.
I just feel like this is an organized play nightmare. Like, I think it's a really cool idea, but I do not want to be the guy trying to calculate who's supposed to get one of these.
Yeah, somebody's gonna miss out on this by like a thousandth of a strength of schedule point.
And it's going to be David.
Is David going to Worlds?
He's going to be there, yeah. He's
Sweet.
going to be there if I. He wrote. Oh, you can tell David and I joke around quite a bit. Okay, so any final thoughts on on World's prizes?
I mean, I guess my final thoughts is that it's just a thumbs up to them for putting the information out there so early and giving us some really good prizes.
Agreed. I big hats off to them. This is
I mean,
I
we could sit here and nitpick things, but I mean, it's just nitpicking. At
exactly.
the end of the day, it's just still some really, really cool prizes.
It's almost like we have to find something to criticize because
Yeah,
the stuff that you're really excited about, like I mean, it's just fantastic. The Vader, the playmat, the Fett playmat, the art, all of it's just so good. It really is.
yeah. I
If
mean, we joked a few years back, I believe, about the backpacks and the messenger bags, and we were saying that they were going to do a lunchbox eventually or some luggage. I was really hoping to complete a luggage set from FFG, but I guess my hopes are gone now that they're giving out art prints.
all right, well,
The
we will
natives are getting
move.
restless for spoilers, it looks like.
Well, they're gonna have to wait a little bit longer. We got 10 topics coming up. Is
Oh,
everybody ready?
snap!
All right, let's do 10 topics. All right, topic number one. Uh oh, that was a
Uh-oh,
tease.
what'd you do?
That was a tease. All right, everybody. Here's topic number one.
Oh, snap. We got our. Oh, that was already spoiled.
Oh,
Assassination contract. What is a faction?
after this mission is completed, destroy each out of faction enemy unit.
I mean, I'm pretty
So
sure we can guess what out of faction means.
yeah, I'm sure we can. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, right?
And
It's
didn't the article explain it?
did it, I think it did. I think it
I think
did.
it did.
But it's all that. Oh, they're saying the article did not explain what out of faction is.
Really?
Never. All right, let's take a look at that article real quick.
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious what it is. I mean, faction and affiliation seem to be pretty interchangeable terms. I know
Yeah,
that's a hot button topic right now,
I think
but
it's yeah, okay, the article says nothing about faction. Let's look at the Ewok one. What was the Ewok spoiler article called?
uh, there's only been one. I mean, it was just the spoiler article for the first pack with Han in it.
No, no, they did the Chief Chirpa one.
Um, maybe that was pack two.
It was. There's an article for it.
I don't know. But I mean, destroy each out of faction enemy unit. I can only guess that means you destroy each unit that doesn't match their affiliation.
I think that is a very good guess.
Yeah, that's my quote unquote educated guess.
Yeah, it could be in the home one too. Yeah. Neutrals would always be out of faction since they don't have an affiliation.
Yes. If it's not if you're Jedi affiliation or faction, I don't want to confuse people. And you have a speeder bike, a falcon, and a lookout, and they trigger this, and you have Jedi affiliation, your falcon and your speeder will die.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, die is not a game term. It will be destroyed.
Yeah. So, in case there's any confusion, this is a mission. This is not the objective of the set.
Yes, because it has a force icon and it costs one.
Yes. So remember, this is
And
something that you would.
and it doesn't even give a resource. So
Yes.
if this was a starting objective, I would always put it to the bottom.
Right. So this is my numbers got jumbled here, of course. So this is card number 5. No, 6, 5.
No, it's six. It's six.
I don't think so. I think that's 5 because I'm pretty sure this is 6. Or no, it is the other way around.
Yeah, no, that's number 6.
Okay, fine. So this is something that has been posted before. It was in the Han article, but this is the
The new fake card.
dark side.
I like it's just Vader there with a lightsaber. That's not his. That's Obi-Wan's lightsaber, right? Or somebody's like Luke's lightsaber. Luke's lightsaber. That's from Return of the Jedi, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, maybe. I'm not sure.
Or maybe, yeah. He's talking to him and pointing, in the little tunnel after Luke gives himself up. I'm thinking.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on this? It seems pretty cute with the mission we just spoiled.
So it says if you are the attacking player, you may choose an enemy objective that you have not engaged this phase. If you do, you are now engaged with the chosen objective instead. I mean, you get to do some tricksy things with it. You can declare against one, and maybe they don't block correctly, and then you can drop this and go at the other objective that maybe they would have defended differently.
Yep.
And then on top of that, it's 3 force icons, so it's pretty good.
I like the 3 force icons. It reminds me of Battle of Hoth.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting.
I mean, I don't think it's a really strong fake card, but it does something, that's, at least I find it cool. It's interesting.
So
But I
we're
mean,
gonna
obviously
we're gonna
like Seeds of Decay or Heat of Battle and Stay on Target or some of those other fates are a little more impactful.
we're gonna go backwards. We'll hit card number 4 here.
Nice. Filthy Accusations. That's a neutral Jedi mind trick
Yeah.
with 3 force icons. So it's a good edge card or it's just a good card.
I like it. Like it should almost always do something for you.
Yeah. I mean, you get to, focus a unit that doesn't match their affiliation. So against those Falcon, Falcon Super Friend decks, whatever. You get to focus whoever they put in after the Falcon, or as somebody's pointing out, the speeder bike. I like that it's
Yeah.
not restricted to a specific type of unit as well. It's not like just character or just vehicle. It's any unit as well.
Right. Right. It is a good card. It is a good card. Should we go to number 3?
Sure.
I can't remember. Was this in one of the fans? I feel like it might have been in one of the fans. I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
All right. Well, it's a 2-drop with just 2 icons. One's edge enabled. But it does say this unit deals double damage to out of faction units and objectives.
So it's a Kuwati security guard with serious upside.
It really is. Like this guy is going to hit really hard when it hits.
Yeah.
If they have out of faction things.
Right.
If there's no out of faction things, sad day.
Yeah, I mean, but still, I mean, at 2, you're getting decent value for 2. But if they don't, if you're able to activate that value, he is phenomenal at 2.
Yeah. And Yoda Man's pointed out it's a bounty hunter, which is pretty nice.
Oh, you know what? I never really noticed that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's
It's a
actually
very good. It's
that's
a very
relevant.
good 2-drop. It is situational though, but it is a
Yeah.
good 2-drop because when that situation does arise, it's going to hit really hard, which is really nice.
It'll be interesting to see. There's if they continue to push out these sets that punish for being dual affiliations or dual factions, whatever you want to say. It'll be interesting to see if people adjust. Because I mean, this thing can really punish you if if it's turned on.
Right.
I mean, I would pay 2 all day for Luke Skywalker, and that's kind of what you get with this guy, if his ability's on.
You want to go to card number 2?
I'm thinking it's the same as 3, but okay.
Whoa! Card number 2. It looks familiar. I think the rocket launcher is a little different in this picture.
It's a little different. It's his twin brother.
So you get two of these bad boys, which is pretty good. Pretty good.
I think it's just okay. I think the unit can be good. I just don't necessarily know that I want 2 of these guys. That's my only concern, is
I
that
agree.
if they're not turned on, they're just average units.
True.
So it's a little worrisome. At this point, it looks like it's really being relegated to a one-of set.
Why did that pop up again? Man, these are all out of order. This is funny. There we go.
No, we already did that one.
Yeah, it's out of
Wait,
order.
it disappeared.
I really like this objective. Ben's gonna be a little happy here.
So each unit you control gains a black blast while it is attacking a mission.
Yep.
I mean, that'll be good for decks that want to attack missions. And now this, well, actually, these contract hunters, if you've got that, if you play that mission or play multiple, you can only have one mission out, but you put assassination contract out there, they're online.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're at least going to get double blast, or actually, if this objective is out in play, shoot, they're gonna do quite a bit of blast if you win an edge battle.
Yeah.
They'll have two black and 2 white. That'll be pretty good. I mean, maybe these contract hunters are a little bit better than I'm giving them credit for, since you do have the mission in the set. It's just going to be how easy is it going to be to find that, mission.
Yeah, well, I mean, dark side missions, if you think about it, should always be out of faction missions for light side.
Right.
Because it's not like they're gonna have the same affiliations as you. Or it'll be a neutral or whatever,
Right.
And then I don't know, to me, I think at first glance the set kind of looks like, oh well, if missions are gonna be a thing, this set's amazing for missions. But I think it's just really solid, like all around. Like I like those. I like how hard those contract hunters hit. Like if your opponent is playing a dual deck, or or even a tricolor deck, like those guys are going to do some serious work.
Yeah, agreed.
Um, I don't know. I think it's very solid. I think that event is very solid. Um, I think a potential board wipe, is good.
Excuse me.
I'm not sure how much play it'll see. It depends on a few factors, I guess. But I think it's good. I'm a fan of this set.
I think what's gonna determine the success of this set is how many other good sets in the different affiliations have good missions that are worth completing, and if these sets have resources in them.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you're gonna run into like the Hoth problem, where a lot of the good Hoth sets didn't have resources,
yeah,
so it was really hard to build a Hoth themed deck for most of the affiliations
yeah, yeah.
because of those lack of resources. So I'm curious to see if some of these other mission sets come with some resources to try to help you out.
And don't forget too, like one aspect we haven't mentioned yet. This can literally go in any dark side deck.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it's neutral.
Everything. There's
Yeah,
no restriction. There's absolutely zero ties to anything. Like it can really just go into anything you want to put it into,
yeah,
which I think is also really really good and very very unique that we've seen this kind of strong of a neutral set. I'm
yeah.
excited for it. I like it better than I like the solo objective set that was spoiled, and I mean Chief Chirpa and Home One looked a little nuts, but
Home one looks pretty nuts.
yeah.
So
Yeah, Skate Pharmacy points out Thrawn with that free event seemed pretty good. That's a lot of locked out units.
yeah, locking down stuff is pretty good, especially when you're the dark side and you're able to do it so easily. Well, I mean, for real, I mean, dark side by nature needs to defend, so
Yeah,
if you're
absolutely.
able to lock down their best attacker, or even later in the game when you're ready to start attacking as the dark side, it's pretty good.
I agree. Any final thoughts?
No, it's just I think it's a solid set. I don't think it's an all-star yet. I mean, things could change as the cycle shakes out, but I think it's solid.
Yeah.
I don't know that I want two of it though.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
But I think the less you play of it, the less value it gets, maybe. So I don't know, it's just tricky. It's tricky. It really is. I mean,
I agree.
the fewer missions you have, the less effective. Because you want to guarantee that those two drops are good, and the way you do that is by playing perhaps more missions. And if you only have one of this, what are the odds of drawing the 1 in 60? Or sorry, we play 50 card decks in this game. The 1 in 50. I mean, granted, we do draw a ton of cards in this game, but the later it becomes, the less useful it becomes.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I will have the images up on the card database under Flip tomorrow. If anybody wants to relook at them, they'll be in the spoiler section of the card database. So
Skate Pharmacy asks, now the only question is if this is released before regionals.
my guess is,
I think it's pretty clear that FFG, maybe it's not clear, but it appears to be clear that they've kind of straightened out their supply chain issues. Because we've got Endor Spoilers in September, which when we got them, we scratched our head. We're like, why do we have Endor Spoilers already? You were freaking out. You're like, what does this mean? It's like IE's not even out yet.
right,
Like
right.
we flipped our minds, and I think this is kind of an indication that it's not too far down the road.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see. Imperial Entanglements here within the next week or two. And
Agreed.
then I think I won't be surprised if the first indoor pack's on sale at Worlds.
That's what I've been saying and thinking. And they did
Yeah.
that last year with Conquest.
Yeah, has
They put
anybody
out the
looked at
first.
did IE go shipping today or this week? Has anybody
No, it was updated the 22nd, which I think was Tuesday,
to what?
on the boat, but it was on the boat in August. So I'm confused if they made a mistake, you
Nah,
know?
yeah, I think it'll be either next week or the week after.
I think so. It wouldn't
Yeah.
surprise me. I mean, it's got to be here. You got to assume it's got to be out for 3 weeks in order for them to make it legal.
Yeah.
So
We'll
three
see.
weeks, 3 weeks puts it, somewhere in the first week of October, maybe. So fingers crossed.
All right. Well, unless you got anything else to say, sir, I think that's going to wrap our special episode number 2.
Nope, that's a wrap.
All right. We are, I believe, going to be back in a few weeks. We typically do some casts leading up to Worlds. I assume we haven't yet to finalize anything, but I assume that will be occurring again soon. So
I mean, I guess it depends on what kind of content is out there to be discussed.
it's all
You know?
secrets.
Well, I mean, I'm not talking about like decks for Worlds or anything like that, but if FFG makes any kind of announcements, you know,
Yeah. No,
we haven't really talked much about the other two. I don't think we've talked at all about the second or third force pack spoilers. So I mean,
right.
there's always that.
Yeah, no, there will be content, I'm sure, leading up to Worlds. We'll be back. And then we'll take a brief hiatus until just about the time that Store Championships start up.
Yeah.
It's a little weird they haven't announced the winter kits yet.
Yeah.
It feels like those should have been announced already.
I agree. As we say that, they'll probably get announced like
Oh my
today or
god,
tomorrow.
wouldn't Force Awakens winter sets be amazing?
Your tin hat theories.
It would be so good. All right.
So good.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Stay posted. Check out online. Make sure to check the Flip the Forest Twitter account and make sure to check out the Flip the Forest Facebook page. We always make posts online to try to give everybody a heads up when we're going to be doing special episodes like this. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll definitely see you next time.